Hi guys, and welcome back to the Worm Online tutorial series. Sorry to mention earlier, I have a timer set in the background, so I'm trying to keep these tutorials about 20 minutes long. In last episode we went through terraforming and the first part of the tutorial, and I'm going to see if we can get through the rest of the tutorial during this episode. So, yeah, here we go. So this talks about combat, healing, and how to heal yourself. I would suggest spending time and reading through all of that. Yes. I'm aware. That's unfortunate. So, examine him. Tells you who made it. All that jazz. And you can see down here we took a little damage. So let's use up some of this cotton. Now if we double click this, that'll bring up our menu. Now we can switch between what we look like and our anatomy. So you want to left click, you can examine each wound like that, or you can just, again, queuing up more than one item, right click the entire hand and say apply first aid, and it will try to first aid both of the injuries at once, as you can see. So there went one, there went the other. Alright. And now we can continue on. So, cotton, you find seeds and you plant the seeds. You can forage for them, and we'll go over foraging later once we are out of the tutorial world. And I do believe that's coming up here shortly. You gotta forage for everything. If you want food, you have to forage for any type of edibles or plantable items. Alright, so this here is the end of the tutorial world. We have to choose a few servers. We can choose to go to Freedom, or we can choose to go to Epic. There. Using the Epic portals. We're going to go to Freedom. Yes. Excuse me. Coughing my head off again. Alright, so we're going to go to Freedom. Just right click the Freedom Stone, say Use, and you can pick one server. Now the two in blue, they are on their own cluster. That means these two are connected, and you can sail in a boat or swim, if you're lucky, between both continents or islands. The same applies to the ones in green. However, the ones in green and the ones in blue do not touch, so you cannot go between these as of yet. That's still debating whether or not they're going to do it. I really hope they don't, to be honest. Then you've got Chaos. Chaos is only accessible by any of the green servers, but it is a PvP server. So we're going to go to Exodus, only because we're going to go there for now. I'm trying to think, do I really want to? Yeah. Once you do this, there's no going back, so there we go. Congratulations. You just portaled to the world of Exodus. So, the first thing you're going to want to do once you get here is you're going to want to make something to get some water with, so that way you do not die of dehydration. Unfortunately, now there used to be a clay area around here. Unfortunately, the tutorial doesn't teach you how to do this anymore. So we're going to walk around here until we find some clay. and we're going to make ourselves a clay pot. Now, you can build anywhere on this server. Any tile that you see, you can build on, assuming nobody owns it. And how you tell if somebody owns it or not is you walk up to the tile. Say I wanted to, there's clay right there. Say I wanted to build right here. Examine the tile. Alright, so this is within the perimeter of Essert. Well, the city we just left is Essert. It's not a good idea to build in somebody else's perimeter. Maybe 5 or 10 tiles away from their perimeter might be okay, but it's considered bad form to build next to somebody like that. Oh, so we started out with a clay bowl. That's good. Let's grab our shovel. We're going to need a little bit of clay for this. And to do this, you're going to want to get into a, I don't know if you can see it. You're going to want to get into one of the corners of a tile. Right click on the tile and say dig. We're only going to need a couple pieces, I hope. Alright. So let's combine these two pieces because I don't know how many we're really going to need. Let's come over here and let's click our hands because we want to actually use our hands and get dirty. So right click on the clay, create, and we're going to do a clay jar. Let's see what else we have. Clay smelting pot. No, we're just going to do a clay jar. Okay, so we succeeded our first time. That's good to know. Let's see if we can make another one. Nope. Looks like we failed at that one. You can see the weight is going down if we create it or if we fail. We lose a little bit of the clay each time. Alright, we're done. We don't really need to make another one anyway. Alright, so we're dropping stuff on the ground. It's saying, hey, if you're dropping it, it must belong to anyone at this point in time. You must not want it. Yeah, we know. We don't. So the next thing we're going to need to do is build a fire. So let's run around and get outside of the city proper. Get away from the get away from anybody else's city. And we can chop down one of these trees and go to town. Let's get our hatchet out. We're gonna double click that. Oh look, I wonder if this has actually got water in it or if somebody just made it and left it there. Nope, this is just for looks, unfortunately. This looks like an okay spot. It's a fir tree. Let's examine the area first. I don't want to be cutting down somebody's yard. It's in the perimeter still. Alright, so technically it's in the perimeter. We could build there if we wanted to. I would prefer to not be in the perimeter of someone else's city though. Again, I think I just saw a guard up here. So there are two types of guards. There are tower guards. Yep, there's a tower guard right there. So we're going to build near here because we got to find this tower. Because that's safety. And there it is. Look at that. That's excellent. So these guys here, if you yell to them in local channel and say, hey, help out, they will help fight stuff like this. That is a good find. Do I have a knife on me? Hopefully it's not butchered. Good, we can butcher it. We might actually eat meat tonight. This is an excellent find. There's a guard right there. I think we're going to live right here. Come on, get some meat. Yay, look at that. We got meat and we didn't even have to work for it. Alright. So, this looks like a really good spot. Still within the perimeter. I would really hope not to be in somebody else's perimeter, so they have a very large perimeter, it seems. And that looks like somebody else's city over there. Oh, nope, I don't want to go that way. You guys almost saw me fall, and I would have taken damage. Alright, this is outside the perimeter. Hello. You're a merchant? I wonder if you're selling anything. Papyrus. Unfortunately, I don't really have anything that... Oh man, another one. Let's eat. We're gonna eat good, at least for a few days. That's awesome. Anytime as a new player you find dead bodies, you always want to butcher them and take the meat off of them, because that will save you so much time later. Now you saw me take the paw and the what was the other, the gland? This looks like a good spot right here. Good. This is almost nice and flat. Actually, so is this. Holy cow, we could just build right here and use this platform. And we would already have a chest if we did that. No, we wouldn't. That's locked. Darn. Apparently there was a shop here at one point in time. Obviously that shop has rotted away. As much as I like that, there's a food storage bin that somebody has set out that cannot be used. I'm just looking for a good spot to plop down a little one-by-one shack. And I think we're going to do it right here. Oh, another achievement. Alright, so did we chop down the tree? I can't remember. No, we didn't. Let's get our hatchet going. Oops, target window. Let's move that down here. Guys, I'm going to cut this episode short. And I'll be back once I chop down some trees. Alright guys, real quick, before I know I said that was the end of the episode, but as you can see down here in the bottom, I have a couple of wood logs. So we're going to make an item pile just by dropping them, along with a bunch of the other things that we don't really want to carry around right now. Let's drop all of that, and you'll see it created a pile. So now we can open that up. And I think we're going to keep everything else on us. Let's open up our character window here. We're going to get armed up because with all of those crocodiles laying around, that's something we definitely want to get taken care of. We can't fight them right now because we're so low level. However, we can call the guards on them. So let's get our shield in place, get our tool belt on. And this is just for a quick slot. We're going to drag our carving knife into there. And yeah, we'll do the flint and steel, why not? And what else? There's one more thing to put over there. Short sword. Alright, so at least now we're armed up. Not that it would help if anything came along, but drop that in there. Let's try and tidy up our inventory a little bit. Alright. We're going to take our little knife, we're going to walk around and we're going to forge. And botanize. hopefully we can get some food going. Alright, Wimp's good. Wimp, you can pick those and get seeds out of them and end up making rope. Wow, it's usually rare to get Wimp, and I just got 2. Hazelnuts, that's good. That's kind of what we're looking for, is anything we can add for our stew pot to make some type of a meal with. We don't really need to botanize for anything right now because I only made this character just to go through the tutorial. Ooh, a pumpkin, that's perfect. Now, I would normally just plant that. I would never eat it right off the bat, but we're gonna eat it because there we go. Now we've got a couple of items for food. We're doing pretty good now. But this is all you have to do to run around and find food, is forage and botanize on a grassy area in hopes and finding something to eat. Let's see. Let's open up the console, and I think yep. You can find this here, bind whatever key. We're going to use G, and we're going to say guards. And you can find this command on Wurmpedia. That's basically all I did, was copy and paste it. But that's just in case something evil this way comes and we have to call the guards on it. Alright, so now that we're back here, we can take our pottery bowl and put it down there. We can take our edibles, drop in there, right click on it and say examine. Alright, that's what you want. You want it to say casserole. If it says anything other than casserole, put different ingredients in, okay? As you can see, you do not have to have meat in here in order to create a casserole, but since we have the meat, let's go ahead and dump that in there too. The heavier the casserole is, the larger meal you'll have. Now, I did get a couple of fir wood planks, so let's go ahead and throw one in there. Get our carving knife out, and let's get some kindling done. Now, normally you never want to leave your items just laying on the ground like this. If I were to log out and I come back tomorrow, chances of this sitting here is going to be, well, I don't know, it's not really worth anything. But any other new player coming through might pick it up just to use it and get it out of the way. Let's throw this stuff in there, and we're going to pick this up. Try and create us a little first aid bandage just in case. There we go, we got some kindling. Alright, so now take this, our flint and steel. Instead of double clicking on stuff now, if it's in a hotbar, then you can just click on the hotbar. The higher quality tool belt you wear, the more slots you have. So I should be able to click on the kindling and create a campfire. Alright, there's our campfire. So let's take the fir wood that we have left over, and we're going to burn that. Open this up. We're going to throw in our clay jar. We're going to throw in our pottery bowl. Now, while those things are cooking up, let's take our paw and our gland. Let's do a little alchemy. We're going to mix them together. We're going to see if we can create ourselves a bandage. You can see that the temperature is getting hotter on those. Once all of these get up and they're nice and hot, they will mix together. And to create a nice large casserole. That's kind of what we want. Alright, so we failed to create that one. Let's keep trying. Now, it used a little bit of the weight from the gland when we did that, so we got 2 more chances. Oh, there we go. We made a healing cover. There we go. Well, we've got 1 healing cover in case we get hurt. Healing covers are good to use against medium wounds. Light wounds or less. There's very light and light. They will heal over time. This includes burns, scratches, water inhalation, anything that's light or very light will heal over time naturally. Medium may or may not heal, depending on how bad it is, and it could even get worse. If you're bleeding out and it's a medium wound, and you're right at the edge of it becoming a very bad wound or whatever, it will continue to hurt you and inflict damage. Oh, there's our casserole, so we can take that out now. You normally want to eat these when they're hot, so yeah, you normally want to heat them up and eat them because you gain more nutrition that way. And that's a pretty good size. That was what, 3K in weight, so that's a pretty good size casserole. That should last you about a day. Like I said, normally I would have just taken that pumpkin and planted it, but I'm not going to stay on this character too much longer. We're going to hop over to my main character because he has higher skill levels, so I can teach you to do things faster. And I am probably going to eat all of this soon. Oh, sorry. Right now we're just kind of waiting for this clay jar to heat up, and once it's hot and properly fired in this campfire, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that, I'm back. Once this is done, we'll be able to take it down and fill it with water, and then we can carry around potable water with us. So we won't need to be living near a lake or anything like that. For those of you who decide to come to Exodus to live, I actually used to live here, and we're going to go for a walk real quick. Alright, so Essert's right there. This is where we came from, and I lived at a place, so you can see this wall here and how then it goes downhill, and you can't see behind that hill there, but there is a huge city called Vicus Arborea, and a friend of mine, Sam, he is actually a GM, but he runs that city over there, and it comes highly recommended. So if you're a new player and you want to learn how to play the game and want a little bit of protection and have somebody show you around and show you the ropes, that's the city that I started out in. So just, wander in there and shout out to them. It's Samurai X, and just let them know that Phreek sent you over there and that you're a new player and you're wanting to learn how things go. You're not obligated in any way, shape, or form to, perform any services. You don't have to dig tunnels or build anything for them. I didn't build anything for the city for the first 3 months that I played. I just, he showed me how to build a house, how to make bricks, and do things like that. So for those of you who are new to the Exodus server, Vicus Arborea, there you go. He's in no way, shape, or form trying to, I'm not trying to promote him in any way, but I'm just telling you from my experience that, there's good people over there, and if you're new and you're wanting to learn how to play I know for a fact that that's good people. um, Something you guys might have noticed, look at the direction of the smoke. That's actually the direction of the wind. So if you were sailing in a boat, that would be very important to you. That change. There is dynamic weather on the server, so that does change. Let's see if our jar's done. Almost, not quite. We're going to pause here, and I will come back when the jar's finished. Of course, no sooner than I hit pause, the jar's done. So, we're going to take that, put that in our inventory. Let's run down and fill it up with water. Oh, that crocodile scared me. Now to fill it up with water, just like you do with everything else, double click on the jar, turn it green, highlight it, activated pottery jar. You're going to run up to the water tile, and just like you would drink water straight off the ground, you're just going to right click on the water and say fill. Might as well fill our gullet while we're here too. So there you go. We've got 2K in weight of water that we can walk around with now. So for new players, what a lot of new players will do when they're fresh on a server is they will create that pottery jar and they'll put it on them. They'll usually take a compass and they will just take a run for it. They'll drop out all their gear so they're running very, very lightweight, and they will just start out and start running because you don't really have anything to lose except for your newbie tools. If I were to die, I would lose the compass, I'd lose the backpack, but my major tools, they are bound to me, so they will stay in my inventory. So a lot of people will just figure, they can lose the tools, no big deal, and they run off and they find a place to live. And once they find a place to live, they come back, they eat as much as they can from the bartender, and then they pick up all their stuff off the ground and they start running with it. Look at that. Not that we could use that right now, but yeah, guys. I think that's going to be it for this character. I'm probably going to switch over to my main since they have a lot more skill levels and everything, and I can teach you guys how to build a house, flatten some land, all that stuff. And I know I said I was cutting this episode short, but I wanted to show you these last couple of things on this character. So from now on, you should at least be able to feed yourself and stay hydrated and be able to call guards just by hitting that G button. And you can see I yelled for guards, and over here, no guards seem to respond. Well, that's because I'm not actually attacking anything right now. But if something were to attack me, I would run straight towards, where'd it go? One of these towers. I think it's back over here. Yeah, I would run straight towards that tower, and I would be spamming that G key constantly, hoping that guards would come and help. So yeah, you guys should be able to at least survive for right now with a brand new character by foraging for food and getting plenty of water. Remember, the starting village, wherever you decide, whichever server you decide to join, there's a bartender, so you can always eat there for the first 24 hours. Alright? Thanks, guys. Like, subscribe, enjoy, all that jazz. Leave comments down below in the doobly-doo, and I will see you guys next time.